What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna preface this with I'm super sick, so sorry for how I sound. But today we're doing a 25,000 mile review on the ReadyLIFT 2-inch SST kit for TrailBoss and AT4. Let's get it. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. This kit went on this truck probably under 500 miles of ownership. So I bought it with 100 miles on it, and the kit went on pretty immediately. So it's been on the truck for the 24,000 miles that are on it. And let's go over how it's been, any questions, comments, and complaints that I have. So for starters, what do you get in this kit? You get the upper control arms, you get preload spacers that go in the factory strut, and that's pretty much it in the front. And then in the back, they're actually under the leaf spring. You get inch taller blocks in the back. So you get a 2-inch in the front, 1-inch rear, gives you a net 4-inch lift on the TrailBoss and AT4. So 24,000 miles, we're looking under the truck now. Everything looks great to me. The CV axles are great, even though they have a little bit of an angle at them, on them. The lower control arm ball joint looks fine to me. That looks all right. The sway bar linkage looks a little cracked up, but I don't really care about that. And obviously our upper control arm ball joint is gonna look just fine because that is new and part of the ReadyLIFT kit. And here we are on the other side. Once again, CV axles look great. Obviously the ball joint on the control arms looks great. Tie rod ends looks fine to me. So 24,000 miles, we have nothing leaking. Sorry, there's a bug on me. Nothing leaking, nothing cracking. So I did just put a video up that was out of chronological order in recording time. And there was a point where the truck was making a pretty bad noise. I'll put that clip in here. It disappeared by itself and hasn't come back. So we're just gonna ignore that and think that it was something stuck somewhere. But it was checked out by the dealership. And also the dealership did say that everything looks great on the suspension and would warranty it if anything went out. So that's nice. So nothing's broken. It hasn't broken anything on my truck. Nothing to go wrong in the back there. It's just blocks under the leaf springs. So mechanically, we are all good. Ride quality hasn't changed since it went on. So that's all good too. And I still like how it looks. This is a really popular kit for these trucks because it's not permanent and it's a good price point. About 700 bucks gets you a 4-inch lift on truck. That's really not bad. So short and sweet here, I guess. After 24,000 miles, I am very pleased with the kit, especially for the $700 price point, like I just mentioned. Looks good, it rides good, hasn't broken my truck. I would purchase it again. Now, there is a pretty high chance that at one point in this truck's life, it will get a 4-inch kit, which makes it a 6-inch kit because it is a TrailBoss, but that's in the future. So as of now, 24,000 miles, I'm happy with it. And I'm gonna answer some questions that y'all have. First question, super popular question. Can I run stocks? Yes, you can run stocks. It's not recommended, and I'm gonna show you why. What we got going on in the truck here is 20-inch wheels with a negative 18mm offset with 285 width tires, which is a little more than 11 inches. And we're looking at this clearance right here between the tire and the upper control arm ball joint housing. So about 3 fingers in there. So with this in mind, if you keep your stock wheels and tires, you'll probably be good. If you go stock wheels, the stock Chevy wheels and wide tires, you're gonna run into clearance issues here. So you can run smaller than 20s. You just have to have a higher offset to make sure that they clear. So the kit was developed with 20x9 wheels. I believe these are 20x10s. That's just their development. So this was clarified for me recently, just doing some reading. So you could put a 17-inch wheel on this kit if you wanted. You just need a higher offset, or a higher negative offset, I guess. So I'm a small wheel kind of person. I went with 20s because the kit said I needed 20s when I bought it, and I already had 20-inch wheels on the old truck, so happenstance. But if I could go back and buy new wheels and tires at the same time, I would definitely be running 17s. I'd probably need a negative 18 or 24mm offset, but you can do that with this kit, and we might do that at some point in the future. If you do want to run your stocks on this kit, you just can't go super wide with the tires. Obviously, you can have them test fit, but you have to watch your clearance on the upper control arm ball joint housing. Next question is 4-wheel drive, does it work? Yes, I use 4-wheel drive in this truck all the time, whether it's off-road or in the snow. If I'm driving on the highway in the wintertime going, 50, 55, I'll put it into 4 high, and I've had no issues. I just avoid using 4 low per their disclaimer on the website, and I'll go over that. I already did a video on this, so I'll link it up top, but short and sweet. When you have in 4 auto, it engages clutch packs in the front, preloads the CV axles in the front, and the fluctuation of torque, in and out, in and out, in and out. Preloading and all that stuff just creates stress on the front CV axles with the angles they're at. So fully locked in 4 high, 4 low, totally fine. It's just the the preload, the clutches, all that crap. This is a very nutshell explanation of it, so watch the other video if you want to see that. But 4-wheel drive does work. I have used it all the time and nothing's broken in this truck. I just avoid 4 auto still. Next question is biggest tire size you can run on this kit. It is answered on ReadyLIFT's website on a 20x9, but I'm running a 20x10. It's contingent on your back spacing too, or your offset, I mean. So these are 285/65 R20, which is basically a 34.6 by 11.3. So they do rub, as we can see there. I did remove the bracket, but they do still rub. I did a little bit of trimming. I obviously took the mud flaps off and all that. So you can run this size with a 20x10 negative 18 millimeter offset wheel. Now, if you go 0 offset, obviously you have to watch your clearance on the upper control arm ball joint housing, but the further in the tire is, the less swing arc it has, so you can fit a bigger tire. So people do often fit 35 1250s on these trucks, which is a lower offset wheel. So the next wheels I'll probably get, or tires I'll probably get, will probably be 35 1150s, and that will probably be the max with this wheel setup. So to answer your question, it's pretty much contingent on the offset of the wheel. So the more tucked in the wheel is, the smaller the steering arc is. You just have to watch your clearance on that ball joint. But you can comfortably fit 35 1250s with a lower offset wheel on this kit without any rubbing issues. If I wanted to go 35 1250s with the negative offset, I would have to do some trimming, and obviously it rubs on these, so keep that in mind. So there you have it, 24,000 miles on the ReadyLIFT 2-inch SST kit for TrailBoss and AT4. It looks good, it's cost effective, hasn't broken down, hasn't given me any issues, allows you to run bigger wheels and tires. It's pretty much a win-win without having to shell out, $1,200 for a full-on lift kit, and also it's fully removable, so that's a huge plus for some people. If you ever want to take the truck back to stock, you're not chopping the differential brackets and doing a diff drop and all that jazz. So pretty cool for $700. You really can't beat it. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. I would recommend it to anyone that wants a lift kit for their truck for a good price point. Get lots of compliments on it. There's really no downsides to it so far. So we'll do another update. We'll see if it ever comes off the truck, or give it another 20,000 miles. But so far, no issues, and I still like it. A couple more things I'd like to touch on as I'm driving away. This kit has been used pretty rigorously off-road. I like to take the truck on trails and out in the wilderness as often as possible in the summertime, so it's been used and abused. So if you plan on just getting it for aesthetics and keeping your truck on the pavement all the time, it'll definitely handle the speed bumps in the Walmart parking lot just fine without falling apart. So I wanted to touch on that. And additionally, it is nice to have the extra lift in the rear there. I do tow often with the vehicle, so having that little boost in the rear so it doesn't squat so much is great. But just want to touch on that, the circumstances that this kit's been through, winter, off-road, towing, all that stuff, and it's held up just fine.